I shouldn't have gone to that concert. I know that sounds dramatic, but if I had trusted my gut that night, I wouldn't still be thinking about it every single time I hear loud music or see flashing stage lights. What happened wasn't some paranormal thing. It was real, and that's what makes it worse. It happened last summer in Chicago. A big artist, one of those names that sells out arenas in minutes, was performing at an outdoor venue near the river. My friend Marcus managed to get us tickets last minute through someone he knew. They weren't great seats, more like standing spots toward the back, but we didn't care. We were just excited to be there. There were 4 of us: me, Marcus, his girlfriend Talia, and my cousin Jordan. From the moment we got there, the place felt overwhelming in the way concerts usually do. Crowds packed shoulder to shoulder, music already blasting from the opening act, lights flickering everywhere. People were drinking, shouting, laughing. It felt chaotic, but in a normal way. At least at first.
The first thing that threw me off was how many people were recording everything. Not just normal clips, like sure, everyone records concerts, but there were people holding their phones up and not even looking at the stage. They were pointing them at the crowd.
At us. I remember nudging Marcus and saying, "Why are people filming the audience?" He shrugged. Probably for TikTok or something. That made sense, so I didn't think much of it. But then I noticed something else. A guy, maybe mid-30s, standing a few feet away from us. He wasn't dancing, wasn't even facing the stage. He was just watching, and not in a casual way. His eyes were fixed on people, scanning slowly like he was searching for someone. When our eyes met, he didn't look away. He just stared. I looked away first, uncomfortable, and tried to ignore it. The concert started around 9 p.m. Once the main act came on, everything got louder, brighter, and more intense.
The crowd surged forward, people screaming, phones in the air. It was hard to even keep track of each other. At one point, Jordan got pushed a few feet away from us. It took like 2 minutes just to pull him back into our group. That's when I noticed the guy again. Same spot, same expression. Still not watching the stage. Still watching people. This time, he had his phone out, and it was pointed directly at us. "Yo," I said to Marcus, leaning close so he could hear me over the music. "That guy's filming us." Marcus glanced over quickly. "Who?" "That dude in the black hoodie, right there." Marcus squinted, then shrugged again. "Bro, everyone's filming."
"No, not like that," I said. "He's not even looking at the stage." Marcus looked again, this time a little longer. "Yeah, that's kind of weird," he admitted. "Just ignore it." So I tried, but it kept bothering me.
Every few minutes, I'd glance over, and he'd still be there, still pointing his phone in our direction. Sometimes he'd move a little, adjusting his angle. Once, I could have sworn he zoomed in. It started to feel less like random recording and more like targeting.
About halfway through the set, Talia said she needed to use the bathroom. The lines were insanely long, so she asked if I'd go with her. Marcus and Jordan stayed behind to hold our spot. As we pushed through the crowd, I felt a weird sense of relief.
Like getting some space would help clear my head. But that feeling didn't last long. Because as we reached a less crowded area near the food stands, I saw him again. The same guy, black hoodie, standing near a trash can facing us.
Like he'd been waiting. I slowed down. Talia noticed. "What?" "That guy," I said quietly. "He's here." She followed my gaze. "Who?" "That dude in the hoodie. He was back there too, filming us." She looked at him for a second, then back at me. "You sure it's the same guy?" "Yeah," I said. "I'm sure." The guy raised his phone slightly, and for a split second, I saw the screen. It wasn't recording video. It was zoomed in. On Talia. "Let's just go," I said quickly. We turned and walked faster toward the restrooms. I kept looking back, half expecting him to follow.
But he didn't. At least, not right away. The bathroom situation was a mess. Long lines, people arguing, some even trying to cut in. It took us almost 20 minutes. By the time we were done, I was already anxious to get back to Marcus and Jordan.
As we walked back toward the crowd, Talia said, "You're kind of freaking me out." "Sorry," I said. "It's probably nothing." But I didn't believe that. Not anymore. When we got back, Marcus looked annoyed. "Where were you?" he asked. "We almost lost our spot." "Bathroom line," Talia said. I leaned closer to Marcus. "That guy's here too. I saw him near the food stands. He's definitely following us." Marcus frowned. "You sure?" "I saw him filming Talia," I said. "Like zoomed in." Marcus looked around the crowd. For a moment, I thought he wouldn't see him. But then he did. "Okay. Yeah, that's weird," he admitted. "Let's just stay together." For the next 30 minutes, everything felt off. The music was still going. People were still having fun, but I couldn't focus on any of it. Because that guy kept appearing. Not constantly, but enough. Sometimes he'd be a few rows back, sometimes off to the side, always watching, always with his phone. Then something happened that made everything worse. Jordan tapped my shoulder. "Hey," he said, holding up his phone. "Do you know this number?" I looked at his screen. It was a text message. Unknown number. The message read, "You're wearing a gray shirt. Turn around." My stomach dropped. "Did you reply?" I asked. "No," Jordan said. "I just got it." "Show me the number." I looked at it. No contact name, no previous messages. Just that one text. I slowly turned around, and there he was. The guy in the black hoodie, standing about 20 feet away, staring directly at us, phone in hand. "Okay," I said, trying to stay calm. "We're leaving." Marcus didn't argue this time. Neither did Talia or Jordan. We started pushing our way out of the crowd, heading toward the exit. I could feel my heart pounding. Every instinct was telling me something wasn't right. As we got closer to the exit, it became easier to move. The crowd thinned out, the music got quieter. I risked one more glance back. He was following us. Not running, not rushing. Just walking, at the same pace. "Don't look back," I said. We picked up our speed. Once we were outside the main gate, I thought we'd be safe. But I was wrong. Because that's when things escalated. The parking lot was dimly lit. Cars everywhere. People leaving, some still hanging around. We headed toward Marcus's car. And that's when Jordan's phone buzzed again. Another message. "You left early." "Block the number," I said. He did immediately. But a second later, his phone buzzed again. Different number. Same message. "Okay, get in the car," Marcus said, unlocking it quickly. We all piled in. Marcus started the engine. I locked the doors. And then, there was a knock on the window. I froze. Slowly, I turned my head. He was standing right next to the car. The guy in the black hoodie. Smiling. "Drive," I said. Marcus didn't hesitate. He hit the gas and pulled out fast. The guy didn't chase us. He just stood there, watching, still smiling. We drove in silence for a few minutes. No one said anything. Then Talia finally spoke. "What the hell was that?" "I don't know," Marcus said. Jordan was staring at his phone. "It's still happening," he said quietly. "What?" I asked. "I'm still getting messages."
He showed us. New number, new message. Nice car. That's when it hit me. He got your number, I said. How? Jordan asked. I thought about it.
The crowd, the filming, the way he kept pointing his phone at us. He didn't, I said slowly. He got all of us. We all checked our phones. And sure enough, I had a message too. Unknown number. You noticed me first. I felt sick. Talia had one too. Marcus didn't say anything, but the look on his face told me he had one as well. We spent the rest of the drive trying to figure out what to do. Call the police? Report it? But what would we even say? A guy at a concert filmed us and texted us? It sounded crazy. By the time we dropped everyone off, the messages had stopped. Just stopped. No explanation. No follow-up. Nothing. The next day, I tried to forget about it. Told myself it was just some creepy guy with too much time on his hands. But then something else happened.
I was scrolling through social media, and I saw a video from the concert, posted by a random account. No username I recognized. No profile picture. Just a clip.
I clicked on it. At first, it looked normal. Crowd shots, stage lights, music. Then the camera shifted and focused on us. It was us. Clear as day. Me, Marcus, Talia, and Jordan, standing in the crowd, laughing, talking, completely unaware. The video zoomed in. Closer. Closer. Until it was just my face. And then the clip ended. I checked the account. It had dozens of videos, all from different concerts, different cities, different groups of people, all filmed the same way, from the crowd, focused on specific individuals. I reported the account immediately. So did my friends. Within a few hours, it was gone, deleted. But that didn't make me feel better, because whoever was behind it was still out there. And sometimes, late at night, I still think about that moment. When I turned around and saw him smiling, like he knew something I didn't. I haven't been to a concert since, and I don't think I ever will again. I thought the worst part of that concert would be the crowd. I was wrong. The worst part was realizing, way too late, that someone in that crowd had been planning something the entire time, and we walked right into it. This happened in Manila last year. It was one of the biggest music festivals of the year. Multiple artists, outdoor venue, thousands of people packed into a huge open space near the bay. The kind of event people wait months for. My friend group had been planning it for weeks. There were 5 of us. Me, my best friend Carlo, his girlfriend Denise, my coworker Alyssa, and her cousin Mark. We got there early, around 4 p.m., to catch the smaller acts before the headliner came on later that night. Everything felt normal at first. Hot weather, loud music, people lining up for food and drinks. You could smell grilled street food mixed with sweat and cheap alcohol. Everyone was in a good mood. At least, until the first weird thing happened. It was Mark who pointed it out. We were sitting on the grass, waiting for the next performance, when he nudged me. "Hey," he said. "Do you see that guy?" I followed his gaze. About 20 feet away, there was a man standing alone. That wasn't unusual. What was unusual was what he was doing. He wasn't watching the stage. He wasn't on his phone. He wasn't talking to anyone. He was just standing there, looking at people, slowly turning his head, scanning the crowd. "What about him?" I asked. "He's been doing that since we got here," Mark said. "I noticed him earlier near the entrance too." I looked again. The guy looked normal enough, Mid-30s maybe, average build, wearing a faded gray shirt and a cap pulled low over his face. But something about the way he moved felt off. Too deliberate, too focused. Probably just waiting for someone, I said. Mark shrugged. Maybe. We dropped it after that. But I didn't forget. As the sun started to set, the crowd got bigger. Way bigger. People kept pouring in, filling every inch of space. By the time the more popular acts started, it was hard to even move without bumping into someone. We decided to get closer to the stage before it got worse. That was probably our biggest mistake. The closer we got, the tighter it became. At one point, Denise nearly tripped because someone shoved past her. Carlo grabbed her arm just in time. "Stay close," he said. We all linked up, trying not to get separated. That's when I saw him again. The same guy. Gray shirt. Cap.
Standing a few rows behind us. This time, he wasn't scanning the crowd. He was looking directly at us. I felt a chill, even though the heat was unbearable. I leaned toward Mark. "That's him, right?"
Mark didn't even hesitate. "Yeah." "Okay, that's weird," I said. "Yeah," he replied quietly. I tried to ignore it, tried to focus on the music, but every time I glanced back, he was still there. Same spot, same stare. Then, during one of the performances, something strange happened. The crowd suddenly surged forward, hard, like a wave.
People screamed, some losing their balance. I felt myself being pushed from behind, nearly knocking into Alyssa. "Whoa!" she yelled. "Careful!" Carlo shouted. For a few seconds, it was chaos. Then it settled.
When things calmed down, I realized something. Mark was gone. "Where's Mark?" I asked. Everyone looked around. "He was right behind me," Denise said. "Mark!" Carlo shouted. No response. We tried calling him. No answer. Texted him. Nothing. "Maybe he got pushed back," Alyssa said. "Or forward," Carlo added. We debated what to do. The crowd was too dense to search properly. "Let's move back," I said. "We'll find him easier." Reluctantly, we started pushing our way out. It took almost 10 minutes to get to a less crowded area. But Mark wasn't there. That's when Carlo's phone buzzed. A message from Mark. Carlo opened it. His face changed instantly. "What?" Denise asked. Carlo didn't answer right away. He just turned his phone toward us. The message said, "Don't come looking for me." "What the hell?" Alyssa said. "That's not funny," Denise added. Carlo typed back immediately. "Where are you?" No reply. "Call him," I said. Carlo did. It rang and rang, then went to voicemail. Something felt wrong, really wrong. "We should go find security," I said. But before we could move, Carlo's phone buzzed again. Another message. "He's with me now." My stomach dropped. "Who?" Denise asked. Carlo scrolled up, like maybe he missed something. But there was nothing else. Just that. "Is this a joke?" Alyssa said, her voice shaking. "No," I said quietly. "It's not." I looked around the crowd, and then I saw him. The guy in the gray shirt, standing about 30 feet away. And next to him was Mark. Mark wasn't moving. He was just standing there, head slightly down, not reacting. "Mark!" Carlo shouted. No response. The guy in gray slowly raised his head and looked directly at us. Then he smiled. "Go," I said. "Now." We started running toward them, pushing through people, ignoring complaints and shouts. But the crowd made it impossible to move fast. By the time we reached the spot where they were gone. Mark! Denise yelled. Nothing. We split up, searching the area, calling his name. No sign of him. Then Alyssa screamed. We ran toward her. She was pointing at something on the ground. It was Mark's phone. The screen was cracked, still on. Carlo picked it up. There was a video playing. We all leaned in. It showed Mark, standing in the crowd, filmed from close range. Mark, a voice said from behind the camera. Mark didn't respond. Mark, the voice repeated. This time, Mark slowly turned his head. His eyes looked empty. Come with me, the voice said. And then the video ended. We all stood there in silence. That's him, I said. The guy in gray. Denise started crying. Carlo looked like he was about to lose it. We need to find him, he said. We went straight to security, explained everything, showed them the phone, the messages.
The video. At first, they didn't seem to take it seriously. Probably thought it was some kind of misunderstanding. But when they saw the video, their expressions changed. They called for backup.
Started searching the area. But the problem was, there were thousands of people. Finding two specific individuals in that crowd was almost impossible. Hours passed. The concert ended. People started leaving. Still no sign of Mark. Or the man in gray. The police got involved. Took our statements. Collected the phone. We stayed there until almost 2 a.m. Hoping. Waiting. But Mark never showed up. The next few days were a blur. Police investigations. Calls. Questions. They checked CCTV footage from the venue. And they did find something. Footage of Mark. Walking. Following someone. The man in the gray shirt. Mark wasn't being dragged. Wasn't resisting. He was just walking behind him. Like he was told to. That's what made it worse. The police asked if Mark had any history of mental health issues. He didn't. They asked if he knew the man. He didn't. There was no connection. No explanation. A week later, Mark's phone was returned to us. But something had changed. There were new videos on it.
Videos none of us had seen before. Each one was short, only a few seconds long. And each one showed someone different. People at the concert, standing in the crowd, looking the same way Mark did.
Empty. The last video was different. It showed us. Me, Carlo, Denise, and Alyssa. Standing together. Completely unaware. And then, the camera slowly zoomed in on me. The video ended. I dropped the phone. That was months ago. Mark was never found. The case is still open. But there are no leads. No suspects. Nothing. I don't go to concerts anymore. I avoid crowds whenever I can. Because sometimes, when I'm out in public, I get this feeling. Like someone is watching me. And once, just once, I swear I saw him again. Across the street. Gray shirt. Cap. Watching. Smiling.